Hi, I'm Karl Hofmeyr, and I'm talking to Deborah Kemp, who was one of the participants on the General Management Program last year. Deborah, the program consists of 4 blocks, one of which is overseas, and there are inputs and simulations, but I'm interested in the coaching element. It started with some assessments. There was a 360, and we did the insights assessment. Can you talk about the value of those assessments and the whole coaching process?
I think the whole structure of the coaching element in the course was fantastic. As you said, it started out with the assessments, which gave an opportunity for some personal insight and personal reflection in terms of one's own style of interacting with others and one's own approach to various problems. And it then went into both a team coaching and an individual coaching element. The individual coaching element obviously certainly gave me an opportunity to take a lot of the learnings and a lot of the reflections that came out of the GMP program and incorporate them into my role at work and bring them into the business context and adapt your own way of doing things to incorporate some of that broader thinking, which was fantastic. From a team coaching point of view, I think it's always great to interact with people that you don't normally work with. It gives you an opportunity to turn a mirror back on yourself and to see how your own behaviors influence people who maybe aren't quite as generous in terms of making allowances for things, you know. So I found both aspects of the coaching really useful, and it contributed hugely to embedding the ideas and the thinking that came out of the GMP program.
I think a lot of executive programs, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of case studies that you read and so on, but a feature of the General Management Program is the coaching, the individual coaching, the team coaching. I think you also had a session in which you were videotaped and got feedback on that. How was that?
That was really interesting. That was done during the business simulation, which in itself was an experience and a half. We won it, of course, which let's not forget. So the videotaping session was great because, you know, often you get feedback from people, but you don't have a playback button in your head that allows you to really go back to that moment in time and see what was it that you were actually doing or saying that caused those perceptions. Yeah. Whereas here with the videotape, you could go back and watch it, plus you could get the feedback from everybody, and it really was an eye-opener. There were a couple of huge learnings that came out for me just from that short 10-minute video.
Of course, the other feature of the program is the overseas trip to Singapore and Vietnam. Would you like to highlight 1 or 2 things from that trip?
That was a great experience. I think it really gave us an opportunity to look at South Africa in a broader global context. And obviously Singapore and Vietnam have got some similarities, but lots of differences. You know, Singapore's so structured and regimented, and I think gave us all a little bit of concern around over-regulation and, you know, overthinking things. But at the same time also highlighted a lot, particularly for me, around technology and just what technology can do to advance a country. Vietnam, obviously a lot more entrepreneurial. I think a lot of us felt that it was a lot more similar to South Africa. And I think there the key takeaway for me was attitude, because you've got people that are in a very similar economic situation to a lot of South Africans, and yet they're out there, they're making a plan, they're making it work. And I think just really highlighted what mindset and mind shift can do to take a nation forward.
Well, thank you, Deborah. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a participant in the program.